Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So today we're going to go back through my January to June 2021 weekly decorations and have a look. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so I do these videos roughly every 6 months where I move the last 6 months out of my planner and put them into these little storage things. I'll go through the storage part in a minute. I decided to do it now because I'm actually moving into another planner. I don't think I need to tell you which one I'm moving into because you all know that. But just stay tuned because that setup video, it's not a setup video, it's just going to be a walkthrough of what I've done because it's really not that different. But I do want to show you how I've changed it just a little bit. But we'll come back to that. While we're waiting for that wonderful video, we're going to have a look back at the last 6 months worth of decorations. So if you haven't seen one of these videos before, all I do for my old inserts, I have plenty of planners, I could honestly put them in there, but I like to have them in these little, they're not displays and they're definitely not on display. I just like them in here a little bit better. I keep other inserts and other things in my planners. So all this is, these are 2 dashboards, generally just pattern paper that have been laminated. I have a bazillion of these sitting around my office. So I just get one for the front, one for the back, 2021 on the front. And I just keep them in the years. The only exception to that I think is 2016 and 2017 where it was maybe I didn't decorate quite as much so it wasn't quite as bulky, so I've got the 2 years together. And then these are just split rings and I get them off eBay. I will link them down below. I think I bought a pack of 50 about 3 or 4 years ago and I'm still going, so I don't go through them fast. Alright, so let's start off with January. I really liked, I've used this monthly setup for a while now. All my inserts are from Aussie Planner Chick. They are custom to me to a certain extent, but I don't always use them, so you'll see along here things that I have and haven't used. But these are a blank page when I get them, and I draw these up and I change them a little bit every month. But generally speaking, you've got your month at the top, your days down the side, a birthday list, an appointment list, and something else. And then sometimes I put some washi in it, sometimes I don't. This one was January, and I just like to have these for not, how do you explain this? So birthdays obviously, and then I tick these off. You'll see that happen as we go through. When I've made cards for those people, if those people get cards, appointments when they happen, and you'll see that came in really handy. These tend to be more like public holidays, people coming to visit, those kind of days, not appointments so much. That sort of comes in back here as well, but then it's obviously set out here. But anyway, sorry, stop talking. So as you can see, January I didn't use my meal plan. I do come back to it, I do come back to using it, but just for January we didn't use it. I have a feeling in January, I'll go back in time, meal planning wasn't working because I would wake up one day and want something and then the next day would really be off it. So for example, I went through a big thing with mince. I couldn't eat mincemeat, so we were out. We couldn't have spaghetti bolognese, we couldn't have lasagna, we couldn't have nachos. So many things we couldn't have, and I'd want and then not want 2 days later, so it just wasn't worth planning them out. So this was the first week of January. This was using the absolutely beautiful Butterfly Skies collection from Planners Anonymous. I love that washi tape. So pretty. Oh look, back when we could have planner days. You know, life. And there's a little shaker card in there. If you can quite see the bits flying around behind the vellum there, but that was really pretty. This was using an old labelled with love kit, I think, that I meant to use so long ago and just wanted something big and bright for my first week back at work. 31 weeks, wow. And look, I got some paint splatter from the next week. This one is honestly one of my absolute favourites. This one is Under the Stars from PA. And I like 2 things about this. I like the splatter. I think this was the first time I used splatter like this. And then I really like this flipper. Like, I like the washi tape along the side. I like that cloud came down. But I really like this flipper. I like the dimension behind the moon. But then I like that I used the acetate just on half of that and stuck it down. Didn't actually end up writing anything on the back of that, but that's okay. Oh, that was when we went away. That's right, we went away for a couple of days. Well, actually it was a day, but it was nice. This was Australia Day. I still love, I need to play with these stamps more. I will admit it, and if you saw Friday's video, you'll know I have too many stamp sets and I still keep buying more. And there are so many that I look at and I go, I need to buy more, I need to get that, I need to get that. But then I have so many in my collection that I just forget to use, and this is one that I have meant to use for cards and I just haven't got around to it. But this was uniquely creative. I think I went overboard with the stencils. I don't think they quite worked the way I meant them to, but I think I can find other ways to use stencils like this, and I have got a stencil week coming up. So at the end of every month I have a blank page. Sometimes I use that for doodles, sometimes I use it for memory keeping, sometimes I don't use it at all, and you'll see through here I definitely don't always use it. So this was February, just an ink blended background. That's actually got stenciling on it. It's hard to see, but it is there. My maternity appointments. Oh, again, February was very similar to January in that just couldn't find food to eat. This was using a planner piece. Oh, hold on, I just want to go back. Sorry, I just want to show you this because I forgot to say it. This, though, started my obsession with Mr. Moose Washi. And if you haven't seen Mr. Moose Washi already, you are seriously missing out. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is, I've got, I think it's 7 or 8 rolls now. The under the sea ones, I'm working out a way that I can use those in a weekly deco. It's coming. Back to February. This was planner piece. It was one of their tropical sub boxes. I just loved the colours. And I loved that I had Barney and Moon stickers to go with it. It made me really happy. This was when I was writing all the AFL down because I was under the funny misapprehension that, you know, footy wouldn't get cancelled. But it did. As did my cousin's baby shower that was supposed to be that week. And we're still waiting to have it, even though little Hugo's been born for a little while. He was born a week after Charlotte-ish. This was Sakura, and I love this. And I still love this, and I love it. I love weeks where I do something different, and this was very different, that I just took the whole page and just went with what was there. I can always work around it, and look, I didn't even end up writing anything underneath it. When I was sort of at the end of the pregnancy, I didn't tend to write too much down. I don't know why. It just kind of got on my nerves, so I didn't do it. But I love that. I think that corner up there is actually one of my favourite little corners. I love that. This was, again, see, nothing in it. Using a kikki.k one. I think this is one of the cute ones. Cute collections, maybe? Cute or sweet, one of the other. Oh, there we go, that's right. I was going to write them in there, and I didn't. I think it got no. It wasn't have been round 4 that got cancelled, but it did. Bits and pieces did. Oh, it was the Malala Fund. I think it was the Malala Fund one. I don't remember. Either way, I like it a lot. I love this one. This one was one of my favourites. This was using the My Monthly Hero B kit. I actually, and with a bit of Mr. Moose as well. Absolutely adore this one, and this is where I started putting some photos in for a little while. This was actually the day that we had our maternity shoot, so when we got the pictures, I went back and actually put one in, just so I've got it there. And I kind of like that. I know the blue doesn't fit in with anything, but that field kind of does, so it worked. Then we're on to March. See, I love those bees so much that I kept it going for my March deco. That was our first picture holding little baby Charlotte. So here you sort of had midwife appointments, last work, Charlotte born, whoops, due date 7 days before Charlotte was born. After Charlotte was born, sorry. And then yeah, first little picture of the family. No meal planning happening in March. We didn't know what was going on. So this was using an Officeworks collection. I can't remember what it's called. I will put it down below. If you want to see any of these videos, just check out my weekly decoration playlist. They'll all be there. I won't link them individually because I'll seriously be there forever because there's 6 months worth. But just check out that playlist and they'll all be there. So that was, I don't remember what it was called. I do though really love the little details that are on this one. It was one of my favourites. That it's a teeny tiny little bit of rose gold tape, but it really made that bottom paper pop, and I still really love it. Mum flies in. Oh yeah, that was not the last time my mum was here, but the last time my mum was here when Charlotte wasn't here. And then this week I did pre-Charlotte, and then I have gone back and added in all these bits and pieces. So the picture of Charlotte is obviously new, or was afterwards. She's here. There were lots of complications when Charlotte was born, and if you were hanging around when when that all happened. You'll know most of the stories now, so I won't go through them again. But I really, when we were going through it all, I didn't necessarily write it in my planner because I don't think I had my planner there, and I probably wasn't in the right headspace to do that anyway. But I did send lots of messages to my family to let them know what was going on, and basically all I did here was copied that out, and I put it day by day, sort of what was important, so I can go back and remember it, which is kind of the point. I actually really liked journaling like this. I don't think I can commit to it every day though, or can't commit to it actually writing every day, if that makes sense. Sometimes just the getting your planner out and sitting here and writing things down is just a bit much for me. But I am sort of having a look at maybe thinking about using my phone to write the notes and then copying them out. But then I don't know if I'll actually do it. So things, if you have tips on how to start journaling and how to stick to it, please let me know. Alright, so these were 2 weeks that you won't find on my channel because they didn't exist. I went back and did these after the fact because I didn't like the fact that I had 2 blank weeks. Charlotte was a massive surprise when she came. She wasn't due until the 16th. She decided to pop up on the 9th. So for that reason, I didn't pre-decorate. I thought I had a week, so I thought we could get well ahead. Whoops. But I did the same thing. I just decorated. This was using a Kaisercraft collection, and then I just went back and wrote in the notes on the days that I sent. I know I used that photo twice, but I love it. That I sent updates to the family, and I've just got little flippy bits there for something fun. And then this week was a bit more simple, and there's no updates because it was the week that we actually came home. So I was so enamored with just having her here that I don't think I remembered to write down anything. But there are some photos there of her first bath, Charlotte's first walk, so when we took her for the first walk with Jet, and then when my dad and my stepmom came to visit. It was I've got there, and our first visit is in over 12 months. I did, at the time when I wrote that down, forget that my mum had come. But mum had come too. So this is moving into April. You can see I had so many appointments in April. It was a busy, busy month. And that was just using Distress Oxide. I usually use Distress Oxide to do my monthly pages. Again, didn't meal plan that month. This was the first week of April, so it was Easter, and I used one of the old kikki.k kits. Oh, look how cute she is. No. Sorry, I forget sometimes. Using a kikki.k collection. I think it was one of the sweet ones. I think so. Very simple week. Again, at this point, I was just trying to get back into the habit of filming for you guys, and so it wasn't necessarily making something amazing. It was just having the time to sit down and do it. Slowly, we've got a bit better at that. This one was one of my absolute favourites. This was the Planner Piece box. It was the Rainbows one. I love this washi tape. I actually use it all the time. But the kit that went with it was just stunning. I loved it. And I loved this sort of, didn't write anything on there, flipper where I had the list there. I did have plans to make lots of lists, but I just didn't kind of get there. Lots of visits, lots of photos, little Charlotte's newborn photos, and then Ryan's grandparents came to visit us, which was just, to be able to have them, especially now we're in lockdown again, thinking back to when we actually had visitors, even though it was just like that 4-month period where we really could have people come, just makes me really happy. Another one that I loved, I really love this one. I need to do this again with the stamping shadows. This was using Uniquely Creative Succulents kit. I love this kit, this stamp set. It is amazing, and I need to grab it out and make more cards with it because it is beautiful. The only thing I don't like about it is it takes me so long to colour the images, but honestly, if that's the worst thing, then that's okay. That's when we had our blinds measured, where I went to see the childcare centre that didn't want us for the first time. That was good. And then, actually, April was full of good ones. This one was this was for Anzac Day. I went poppy crazy. And it wasn't what I had imagined in my head when I had sat down to think about Anzac Day, because thankfully I had been really organised with weeks like Anzac, because Anzac week and Grand Final week are things that I think about well in advance. And I was really good with this one. I thought about this, I think probably back in January. So I had everything I wanted, but when I went to put it together, it just didn't quite work. Whoops. my Anzac Day sticker is not stuck very well. But this was the only footy game that I have gone to this year, and I'm going to assume it's going to be the only footy game I'm going to go to this year. I got to go to Anzac Day, which I was just so thankful for. I still am so thankful for the fact that we got to go, because again, we're not going to get to go to many more. This was the best week. April really was the best. This was using the milk bar from Planners Anonymous. I loved using the ink on the background. I think it gave me what I wanted. I liked the caramel dripping on the top. But what I loved more than anything is this flipper. And it was because it was what I did afterwards. So it was just the flipper. And I had stamped on the back. And then what I did, because my family came to visit us this week, it was the first time my mum met Charlotte and my sister. And we went and met my cousin and her new baby. It was just so good to see everybody. So we've got the family picture there, and then because we had so many pictures, I put them all in here and just made little flippers of photos so that I can just look back. Because I love having photos on my phone, and I have hundreds of photos on my phone, but I honestly do miss having them in real life, and you'll see as we go through here, I stopped putting so many photos in, and I need to go back and fix that. So that was Milk Bar. Love that. We move into May, so this is when I was playing with some watercolours. I was testing what they did in here, and they didn't quite work like I wanted them to. May, I tried to use those poppy stamps on a background, but because it's all whited out, you really didn't notice, which was kind of annoying. But it was an attempt at something that just didn't quite work. There we go. I did use something. I didn't use May. That was when I was playing with the foil quill to see if I could draw the little images that I wanted, which I didn't do a very good job of, but I tried. This was using the, I want to say it's the Sage collection. I don't know if that's what it's actually called. But it's from kikki.k. It's one of their newer collections this year, but I really liked it. I thought it was really pretty, and I love the soft green. It was just a good one. So you've got all the bits and pieces in here, the little plants. And then I actually really love this one on the back. It's a surprise. You don't remember it's there, and then pop, it's just there. And that was for Mother's Day. This one was good. This was my bubbles. Full decoration, full bubbles, full colours, and then all the little mice on the bottom. I love this, and that was to celebrate Lord Fawn release. I love the bubbles. The bubbles are fantastic, and this little one here is one of my favourites. Another one of those stamp sets that I need to use that I keep forgetting to. This was Poolside. I still love this. I love the colours. I love, love, love red, blue and white. I don't know why it speaks to me the way it does, but I love red, blue and white, and I do love this kit. I cannot wait to use it when it gets a little bit warmer. Splatters always work for me, always. And this was really cool. So my stepmom came over this weekend and we went to Picture to Page, you know, back when we could go places and do things. And I had my little list, which I actually took out on the day and took this with me. I didn't take my planner because it was too heavy. So I just took my list, and then when I came home I put it back so I could have it there. But I got everything I want, or almost everything I wanted. And it was just nice to have my stepmom come with me. So thank you, Sharon. Wow, I did speckles a lot. This was that purple week. I just wanted to play with some washi tape. I just wanted to grab a colour and just go with it, which is what I did. So simple. I love that little stamp. Cow's opinion. This is when we started cancelling things again. So yeah, lockdown. That would have been lockdown 4, I reckon. Must have been lockdown 4. Anyway, I've lost track of the lockdowns now. So I put the lockdowns in. I did start keeping count of them though, because I wanted to, I just didn't keep count of which lockdown it was, but I have a feeling it's number 4. And nothing on the back there. June I played with some tombos and just watered them together. I didn't particularly like the way that one turned out, but June didn't have too much going on, so it was okay. Still no meal planning. Must have been July that I started doing it again. I have started doing it. This was the Lime and Mortar Whale collection. I love this. It is back in the store. You need to go and get it if you haven't already. I may be grabbing more. I love whales. Whales are just fantastic. So I got all my reminders. I actually really like the way the boxes sat out here. It just worked really well, the box setup in this one. And then I just added in some washi tape from Fox and Cactus. This was the Planner Piece Wildflowers box. And there's very few planner things that sort of get put on display in here. But I love the mouse pad that came with this box, and I still use it all the time. So this kit makes me really happy. I also really like this little postcard holder that worked as a list holder, because it means I can actually take this postcard out and use it if I want to. But it's actually really good where it is, and I kind of like it there. So don't believe everything you think. Although I just need to work on the sizing if I'm ever going to do that again. There we go. Oh, chapter 3. Yay! Melbourne restrictions to be easing tomorrow. Woohoo! So that was the week of Queen's birthday. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but it always feels like lockdowns happen like the week we've got a long weekend or something really exciting is going to happen. Well, it used to. It doesn't anymore. This is where we... This was the week that I got to go and check out all of the childcare centres, because this was the week that I panicked because we didn't have a childcare centre yet. Oh, it's amazing the things you remember. And I don't know why, but I didn't write anything in that week. And then last but not least, we've got my big bright yellow week. I really love this one. This one maybe was a bit much, and it certainly didn't work out the way I wanted it to when I was filming it. But I look at it now, when I was pulling it out before and having a look, I look at it and go, wow, that's actually really cool. So yeah, just a colour theme again. If there's a colour that I haven't used before that you'd like me to, like I lean towards blues and greens, and you see pink a lot because there's a lot of pink stuff in, especially Planners Anonymous. But if you ever want to see a colour that maybe I don't use, or you want to challenge me to use a colour, please do. Leave it down below. I'd love to give a different colour a try. Whenever I can't think of something to do, I sort of grab a colour. That's sort of my go-to. But yeah, that was using all my yellow stuff. And that is the end of June, which means that's the end of this video. I like going back. I like remembering what I've done. I like seeing the weeks that maybe I half-assed it. Not gonna lie, that was not too complicated. And then the weeks where I went a little bit over the top. It's fun to see the differentiation. It's fun to see what you did and how you did it, and maybe what you could do better. And I guarantee you, when we go through the next 6 months, there's going to be things about a couple of the first weeks of July that I haven't liked very much, which will be fun to sort of go back on and see what we did for the rest of the year. So I've done these basically every 6 months for the last couple of years. I will link the videos where I go through them all. I'll put them down below, but I won't do the videos for each one. You'll just have to check the playlist for those. Just search for the, if you go weekly planner decoration, like on my channel, search my channel and go like Planners Anonymous milk bar, you'll find it. It's pretty easy to find them. I do try and name them very well so that you can find them again easily later. So you can go and check them out if you want to. And like I said, if you have something you want me to do, something like a theme or something you'd like to challenge me to try, please leave it down below and I shall try and add that into the schedule. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hope you have an absolutely awesome week, and I will catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!